Piano practicing can often seem like an endless journey, similar to peeling an onion. It takes a lot of layers of solved problems to get to the center of things. But in any stage of your development, there is usually one note that is making your life miserable. Welcome back to Joy of Practicing. I'm Ferdi Talan. More often than not, what this culprit does is get you stuck in the key bed. And if you remember from our previous discussion, what happens when you get stuck is that you have to reactivate the next note, which will take more energy than what is needed, and most of the time produces a different result than what you intended. Freedom of movement is the ultimate goal. You can't be free to move when you have one foot planted in the mud. But the first thing that you need to do when a passage feels gritty and effortful is quite simple. Turn it on its head. The easiest way to do this is through grouping. You go to the smallest syllable, and because the syllables only contain one or two notes, there's usually only one other alternative. So for example, in this figuration, what a mouthful, right? That's like a really long harmonic passage on the left hand, which is quite strange for me. But then you have to dissect it. So grouping is the easiest way to do it. How I group it is this way. I just spelled it out for you, right? But there are a couple more other alternatives. You could do it. And in another way that you have to take a look at how you move through it. So my first lesson in trying to figure out how this worked was that I do this. Then I'm stuck. This was the first note that I have to figure out. I have to actually learn that it's this beat that's giving you that. Because this is just this little figuration. This is not significant at all. If any, the F sharp is much more important than the G. So if I do, see, the further you come down, the more that you have to go up. And so if you come and plonk yourself here, it's hard to get over here. And what you actually need to is to be close to the F sharp. In the second demonstration that I gave you, it shows you the threesome in which the grouping becomes three notes and it comes back to the original note. Yeah, so it's pretty much just a cascade. That's pretty much what it is, and then he fill it up with some passing notes. But if you get that clear in your head, the other note is not going to be, because you can't do it. And then first, if you can't can't get fast with that. Number two, the listener's ear will explode if you continuously do that for 4 minutes. So that's the first thing that you do is you take a look at the grouping, and then if this doesn't feel yummy yet and it doesn't solve your problem, then you take a look at the timing. So for example, this E was also a place where I usually get stuck because my timing is not correct there. And I was only trying things because, before the predominant note was G, the ones that are being repeated the most, and then he switches to E. So this used to startle me and think like, oh, it's a change, it's an important development in the left hand. But actually, given the speed that this piece is intended at, you won't be able to discern all that anyway. And so my timing there was that I spent too much time on the E. Because I need to go. If I do number one, it sounds like it's one instrument, it's one voice, and that's not necessarily what I want. And then it impedes me of moving. No. This is the thing about practicing. It's really it's outsmarting yourself until things are yummy. But then if you put all these self-deprecating self-dialogue that like you can't do it and you're not going to be able to do it, you've already lost the battle in the practice room itself, and it's really hard to dig yourself out from that trench.